Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to deal with inventory discrepancies between Traede and Navision. This video is for you if you have a product in Traede where you do not understand why the inventory does not match between Navision and Traede. And the goal of this video is to figure out if this is a Navision problem or if it's a Traede problem. So, as an example, I have my account here. And I have this SKU 234234523, where I can see that my inventory in Traede is 135, but it's only 25 in Navision. So that seems kind of odd. And now I want to figure out if this is a Traede issue or is it a Navision issue. And the way the synchronization between Navision and Traede works is that Navision will send Traede a file containing all the inventory. Every half hour, we import this file, but this file sometimes something fails in Navision and this file doesn't get updated. So we need to figure out if the file we get from Navision contains the correct number. If we get a file from Navision that says there's 135 pieces in Navision, then that's why there's 135 in Traede, and then we cannot do anything about it because the way you have to fix this is to get the export in Navision to work. So the goal of this video is to figure out the file that we get from Navision with the inventory. Does that say 135 or does it say 25? If it says 25, then we have a problem in Traede, and you should escalate that to our support team. If it says 135, then it's really a Navision problem, and the Traede team cannot do anything about it except to tell you to talk to your Navision provider. So the way you can check this is you go into Traede, and on the App Store there is a menu item called Document Exchange. You go in here. So this is the page I'm on now. Now you will see a bunch of rows, and in the column here it should say Navision. To only view Navision, you can select Show Only App and then select Navision. And then on the document type you need to find the one called Inventory. And if you only want to see inventory, you just select Show Only Type, select Inventory. This will then filter it down so you only see the inventory ones. Then you just take the top one. The first step is to look at the time and date. And if the time is very recently, like you can see there's one of these pretty much every half hour or so. So if it's very recently, then that means that we have imported the file from Navision very recently. So the next step is to see, okay, if we get it, if we've imported it very recently, then we have to check if the number is correct or not. And what you do is you click the row and it will expand like this. And on the left hand side there is a file right here, and you can click the download button. So when you click the download button, you'll get the inventory file that we imported. Then you just find it on your computer. I have an example right here. Now the next step, it depends on if you have Windows or if you have MacBook or whatever you have. But basically what you need to do is you need to open this one in a text editor. If you're on MacBook, I recommend that you open it with Text Edit. If you're on Windows, I recommend that you open it with Notepad. Don't try to open this one with Word or something like that. It won't really work. So use Notepad on Windows or Text Edit on a MacBook. So now we've opened this file here, and just zoom a little bit. And this might seem like a bunch of weird stuff to you, but trust me, it's easier than it looks. So what you do is, I have my SKU right up here. I just copy paste it, and then I go down to the file, and I click Control F to search. And then I search my SKU, and I can see there's a row right here with my SKU. And the number it says on the right hand side of my SKU between the two crocodile mouths or whatever it's called, that's the number that we get from Navision. So what we can see here is that Navision tells Traede that the SKU right here, it has inventory of 135. And that's why it says 135 in Navision. So in this specific case, we can see that the file we get from Navision says there's 135 in stock. And this probably means that the file that Navision sends to Traede is out of sync. And in this case, you need to get a hold of your Navision supplier, because they have to fix it somehow. Most likely it just stopped working and they need to restart it or something like that. That's typically how they do. So typically you just need to restart it. But really, in this case, the Traede support team cannot do anything more than to tell you to contact the Navision supplier, because they just sent us the wrong number. If the number said 25, that means that Navision sends the correct data to Traede. And in this case, you should contact the Traede support team, because the Traede support team will need to figure out, if it says 25 in the number that we get from Navision, then why doesn't it say 25 in the number in Traede?